Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today to argue for the legalization of cannabis. The topic has been hotly debated for many of years with strong opinions on both sides. However, I believe that we must look into the scientific evidence and consider the potential benefits that legalizing cannabis could bring to our society. So, before we dive into the specifics, it is essential to clarify some misconceptions about cannabis. So, first and foremost, the term cannabis refers to the plant. So, it's normally put into two species. So, we have sativa and then we have indica. Sativa is more euphoric, giggly, great for projects. And then we have indica, and we like to say indica in the couch, which is good for pain and inflammation. And so the psychoactive compound found in this plant is called THC, which gives people that high feeling when consuming it. However, it is crucial to note that cannabis also contains a compound which is called CBD. So CBD does not produce the same euphoric feeling as THC. So now, why should we legalize cannabis? So, there are multiple reasons. Let us begin with the most obvious one: the potential revenue it could bring to our economy. According to a report by New Frontier Data, the cannabis industry is projected to create over 250,000 jobs by 2020 to 2025. It is estimated to contribute $132 billion to the U.S. economy. So legalizing cannabis would not only generate significant tax revenues for the government, but also create job opportunities and boost local economies. Moreover, by legalizing cannabis, we can regulate its production and distribution. So currently, there are some places cannabis is sold through the black market. So there's no regulations on those products and the safety. So legalizing cannabis would ensure that the products is more safe and sold in a controlled environment, thus reducing the risk of contamination and ensuring that you get the best quality. So now, let us talk about the medical benefits of cannabis. So, while more research needs to be done, several studies have shown the potential of cannabis in treating various medical conditions. The National Academy of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine published a comprehensive review in 2007, which conducted that there is substantial evidence to support the use of cannabis for chronic pain. So you can use it for chemotherapy-induced nausea, vomiting, and improve patient reporting with multiple sclerosis and other symptoms. Furthermore, the legalization of cannabis would produce a much-needed relief to the overcrowded prisons, lightening the burden for the criminal justice system. According to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, over 40,000 individuals are currently behind bars for cannabis-related offenses. The cost of incarcerating them falls on taxpayers. So legalizing cannabis would free up local law enforcement. It would free up IMSA and hospitals, of course, allowing taxpayers more benefits. So then we can focus on more serious crimes, reducing the number of non-violent offenders serving first time for possessions or substances now legal in many of states. So more of the states have legalized medical cannabis have seen a significant decrease in opioid overdose deaths. In states with medical marijuana laws, there was a 24.8 lower opioid overdose mortality rate in states with such laws. With current opioid epidemic ravishing our nation, the potential of cannabis as a substitute for traditional painkillers is something that simply cannot be ignored. And I do know we are in a opioid-driven society, so I definitely think cannabis would reduce the use for opioids. So, opponents of legalization would argue marijuana is a gateway drug. and that legalizing it would encourage individuals to experiment with other more dangerous substances. However, this argument has been debunked by numerous studies. A study published in Journal of School and Health found that students who use marijuana alone were less likely to engage in other drugs and risky behaviors compared to students who use other drugs. Compared to students who use other drugs, reducing risky behavior. Students who use the drugs in combination with marijuana have not caught an addiction. Additionally, the legal age limit set for purchasing cannabis will reduce access to underage individuals, as they would not have the same access versus black market. So here in Maryland, you have to be 21 to legally grow and go into a dispensary, of course, unless you have what's called a caregiver license, which you have to register through the state, which is controlled, and they do monitor our cannabis. Okay, so another reason it should be legalized is for personal freedom. So many argue that adults should have the right to make their own choices about cannabis use, similar to alcohol and tobacco. And I do think it should be your right to use responsibly, of course. So, in conclusion, the evidence in favor of legalizing cannabis is clear. The potential economic boost, improvement in public health, the freedom of your choice, the reflection of social injustice, compelling reasons as to why we should legalize cannabis. I urge you, as educated individuals, to critically examine the evidence and support the legalization of cannabis. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching my speech. You guys have a great day.